Good morning and welcome to the joint ICANN NRO IANA press conference. We have the great honor today to close one of the chapter of Internet history and to begin another. As early as the mid-1990s, Internet engineers were predicting that the growth of usage on the Internet would someday exhaust the seemingly plentiful addressing resources sometime in the 21st century. To prepare for the future, the Internet Architecture Board challenged the Internet Engineering Task Force to design an expansion to this necessary infrastructure resource. And the IETF took the challenge and adopted the new standard for IPv6, or Internet Protocol version 6, expanding the number space in 1996. ICANN, in its role of the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, IANA, has been the steward for the maintenance and allocation of both address families, IPv4 and IPv6. Today, 14 years after the creation of the successor to IPv4, the final 5 IPv4 blocks of addresses are being allocated from the IANA-held pool and distributed to the regional registries. The Internet community has carefully planned for this day, and ICANN is ready to announce these final allocations of IPv4 addresses to the 5 regional Internet registries. With me today to receive the final allocations are Adil Akplogan from AfriNIC, Paul Wilson from APNIC, John Curran from Arin, Raul Echeverria from LACNIC, and Axel Pavlik from RIPE NCC at the end of the table. And on behalf of ICANN, the VP for IANA, Elise Garrick, will now make the final allocations from the IPv4 address pool.
Thank you, Rod. This day's been a long day coming, and it gives me great pleasure to start to give out the last 5 blocks of IPv4 addresses. And the first block will go to AfriNIC.
Thank you very much. And even though this is a very symbolic moment for us, AfriNIC, it is a very important moment because it testifies and show how important is the open bottom-up process that we have, and we underline the management of IP address in general. AfriNIC has been, and the community, in fact, has been very detrimental in putting in place this policy, which allow us to be here today representing Africa to get one of the last /8. This is very important because for us, it helps us to safeguard the internet development in our region, but it also allows us to plan smoothly the transition to IPv6, which is the ultimate solution for the future of the internet. Thank you, and we hope to continue to be present and support this open process.
And the next block, the second block, goes to APNIC, and Paul Wilson, on behalf of APNIC, is here to receive 103/8.
Thank you very much, Elise. Thanks, Rod, as well. Thank you all for being here. APNIC serves the Asia-Pacific region, which has roughly half of the world's population and, as you know, a handful of economies which are booming at the moment. And any kind of boom these days involves an internet boom. We're consuming around half of the addresses that are being allocated around the world these days. So in some sense, you've got that consumption rate to thank for the timing of this meeting, because this final distribution comes after the last allocation that was made under the normal allocation system from IANA, and that went to APNIC. So I'm leaving here with not just 1 block, but in fact 3, which is nice. However, our projections are that although we at this time have a larger pool of addresses than any of the other RIRs, we're going to consume those addresses and come to the end of that pool first, more quickly than the others, within about 3 to 6 months from now. So our focus from here on is the correct and responsible management of the addresses that we've just received, all of the addresses in our IPv4 registry as well. But moreover, it's on IPv6, which is the next generation. And IPv6 is where it's going to be, where we're all going to be during the course of this year. And it's crucial for the Asia-Pacific region. It's crucial for the rest of the world. Speaking for the Asia-Pacific, this day, February the 3rd, is actually quite auspicious because it coincides coincidentally with a couple of other dates. So today is Setsubun, the first day of spring in Japan, which is a traditional time of releasing old demons and welcoming good luck. And it also happens to be this year the Chinese New Year. And so we're moving also at a very auspicious time from the year of the tiger to the year of the rabbit. The rabbit is supposed to give us some relief from whatever was going on last year, but I'm not quite sure how much relief we'll have. Anyway, thank you again, and Happy New Year. Thanks.
And I guess one of the things for entering the new year, at least what I was told once, was when you enter the Chinese New Year, you get out with the old and in with the new. And so that's what we're doing today. We're finishing with the old and starting with the new. So the next block goes to Arin and John Kern, and I'd like to say that John and I were around before the RIRs started. And whereas I'm very fortunate to be the Vice President of IANA right now, we both worked with the original IANA, John Postel. And it gives me very great pleasure to give this last block to John Kern for Arin. Thank you, John.
Thank you, everybody. I'll keep my comments brief. On behalf of the Internet community of the Arin region, I'm pleased to receive this final allocation. Arin has been a participant in the policy process that has managed this IPv4 address pool through the years, including the policy that makes this allocation possible. We look forward to continued management of the IPv6 address space, which hopefully will be what most service providers are making use of going forward, given the situation with IPv4. I'm also pleased and very happy to be able to facilitate this conference within the Arin region, and I hope it made this moment a little more memorable for everyone. Thank you.
So 179/8 will be going to the LACNIC region, and I'd like to ask Raul Echevarria to come up and receive this. And I want to thank him for helping me to get organized for this event, because without him, I don't think it would have been happening today.
I don't have the advantage of Paul. I cannot link 179 with anything that could mean luck or something. But it seems that it was yesterday that we were celebrating the creation of LACNIC. So I think this is one of the things that we have seen in the last years is the wisdom of the community in establishing this system based in regional internet registries, and creating different organizations for dealing with different cultures and different characteristics of different regions. But now we are back here, but it's for a different meaning. It is, as it is obvious, it is a very special day for us. We in LACNIC have been working very much in the last few years in promoting IPv6 deployment in the region, spending resources on that. So I can say that I received this /8, this block of IPv4 addresses with the satisfaction of having worked and having contributed very much and contributing very much to the IPv6 deployment and the proper transition to IPv6. And it is also special for us because Latin America and the Caribbean is a region with internet penetration of 35%. So we still need to satisfy the demand of the region, and while we continue working toward IPv6, this block will permit us to continue making some allocations to the operators in LACNIC region. Thank you very much. I think that this is also a good moment for congratulating ourselves for the good work that we have done, but at the same time to congratulate ICANN and IANA for the role that you have played in responsibly managing the central pool of IPv4 addresses. Please extend this appreciation to the people that have been involved in IANA along the IANA history. So thank you and congratulations.
I do want to mention one person within the IANA department who is not with us today, Leah Vagoda. And for ICANN, Leo has been responsible for working with the different RIRs over the last few years to make sure there's fair and just allocation of the addresses within each of their regions. And he's become quite attached to everybody that's sitting at these tables up here. And I want to thank Leo and recognize his good efforts within the whole community for supporting the global internet space. So 185/8 goes to the RIPE NCC, and Axel Pollack, if you could come up and please accept this on behalf of RIPE.
This is special. It's the last of the last 5. Right. When I started working at the RIPE NCC more than 11 years ago, one of the first priority work items I had was to ensure that the allocation process for this IPv6 thing was up to scratch and working properly. I think, as Raul has thanked various people, I think us standing here today and not 8 years ago or 5 years ago is a tribute to the efficiency and responsibility of the internet operators community, whom we serve, of course, in setting reasonable and sometimes somewhat conservative policies with regard to IPv4, and also rather liberal policies with regard to IPv6, so that also can be seen in the fact that there are a lot of IPv6 allocations out already around the world and specifically in our service region. Now, making allocation is relatively simple. Receiving allocations, as we see, is great joy and also very simple. Now, doing something with the allocation, especially V6, that is the next challenge for the operators community. And while we see some of that happening, there must be much more over the next couple of months. I think that will be growing. So we see you all on IPv6 with that. And the final go V6. I shut up. Thank you.
So on behalf of ICANN and IANA, I'm out of IPv4 addresses to allocate to the RIRs, and I'd like to let Rod close our ceremony here, and thank you very much for attending.
Thank you, Elise, and thank you, leaders and teams from all the regional internet registries around the world. That does conclude the allocation of IPv4 from the IANA pool, and also concludes this part of the ceremony. Thank you so much for your outstanding service to the regions and for coming together today so we could experience this historic event together. Thank you so much.